nobody about it at all. So I'm not expecting many people to turn up. I'm just gonna see if I can get my chat window up here on my computer. I've got a laptop actually, so I've not even set this up properly to be honest, but I'm home for lunch on a work day, so I'm going to just very quickly mix up some paints. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing here as soon as this starts loading up. Okay, sorry about the feedback there. So hopefully what you can see on the screen is a bunch of paints, and these are acrylic paints. You probably recognize the brands. The brands I have at present are mostly Amsterdam and Pebeo, and one Deco Art Extreme Sheen. I'm trying to get you to the position where you can see a little better. Without all that other stuff in the background. So yes, so you can see what I've got here. I'm going to be mixing that because I'm hoping to do a acrylic pour, fluid art acrylic pour very soon. So today's very short video here is just for me mixing it up. I thought why not go live and see if anyone's around, but if they're not around that's fine because I still need to very quickly mix this up in the next hour. I've started off with my pouring medium here. So my pouring medium is Owatrol. You can't see the name there with a sticker in the way. Let's see if we can get that off. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better, isn't it? So yeah, I'm using this, which is used a lot in the EU and in the UK as well. We have that available for us. It's about 20 something pounds for 2.5 litres. And it's a paint thinner really, okay? So it's a paint conditioner, I should really say, water-based one. And I'm mixing up my paints in these lovely silicone cups here. And they're perfect because the paint really does peel out of them afterwards, so it's much less cleanup for me, which is always an issue really when you're mixing lots of different paints and trying to keep them. They don't have lids to them. I can put them into a little container that's airtight and keep them fresh in there for a while as well. So as I said, I'm going to be doing a acrylic pour. The technique that I'm going to be doing is actually either a cloud pour or a straight pour with some of these colours. I just want to quickly say hi to Simply Nanette. Hi darling, thank you for being here. Great to see you. I hope you're having a lovely day, whatever you're doing. Hope you're not stuck in work. I had work this morning, so luckily I've got my lunchtime now, my break to do this in. Oh, hi, Kat. Lovely to see you. I hope you're having a lovely day off, sweetheart. I'm home with my daughter. She's home today. She's not in daycare, so I've left her with her dad this morning, gone into work and come back, and now I've got her for a little bit. I'm going to be working from home the rest of the day after I finish mixing these up. So it's great to see you. Hope you're having a good day off there. I know you're in the UK. It's raining up here in Wales. It's been a bit gloomy actually for 2 days, and I've had to drive in the rain, but it's fine. We've got Elizabeth West as well. Good evening to you. Good afternoon to everyone else, or whatever time of day it is where you are. And we've got the beautiful Kathy from Grandma Kathy's Art Venture here as well. It's great to see you, Kathy. I recently watched some of your resin art. It's great. So if anyone hasn't subbed to Kathy, please go ahead and sub to each other on the chat as well. That's really helpful for all of us to grow together. Okay, I just want to say Simply Nanette is amazing. She's one of the first people who ever actually joined my membership on my channel. So it's you never forget the first few people to you. So I'm really, really grateful for that as well. So after her, lots of other people started becoming members, which was really sweet. So let's get on with this. So as I said, you don't have to hang around unless you want to have a chat in the chat box with me and with each other. Mainly because I am just mixing paint today and I'm going to show you how I do it. So for my straight pour, I'm going to be using the Owatrol Floetrol. However, it's relatively thick. I think it's slightly thicker than the American version, the US Floetrol, and it's super thick compared to the Australian Floetrol. You can see, I hope you can see how thick that is. Maybe I'll just show you on this, kind of less, this one. So this is how thick it is. You can see. Okay. And it does differ a little bit depending on the weather sometimes, because if it's super warm climate, then it kind of either thins out or thickens up, one or the other. So you have to really keep an eye on it. So what I'm adding, okay, very quickly. So the first colour I added was primary yellow from Amsterdam. Beautiful, vibrant yellow. I love that. I love all the primary colours actually. And this one is brilliant green. I might add a little, because it's quite bright, isn't it? I might add a little bit of a darker green to this. So this is what I do with my custom colours. Sometimes I will add 2 or 3 colours together to get the consistency I need and also the colour I need. And then I might add water afterwards depending on how thick it is. Now I'm doing 2 parts Floetrol here to probably 1 part paint. Okay, I don't want to put too much of this green in because I want to add a slightly darker green. Now sometimes when I look at my colours I think I could do with a slightly darker colour here, so I might add a different colour. And actually, I might even add a pigment sometimes. So I like that green, but I love this one. This is the Pebeo iridescent green yellow. A lot of you will know this. It's got a beautiful shimmer to it. Okay, so we're going to add a tad bit of this in as well. Why not, right? So we've just got that in there. Let's get a stirring stick. I don't know where they've all gone actually. Oh, okay, here we've got one. So we're just going to stir that up now, and I just look at it because I look at the colour it comes out, because obviously because the Floetrol's not completely transparent, is it really? It's translucent at this stage when it's kind of wet, fluid I should say. Sometimes the colours look different, so this colour here, a combination of those 2 tube paints, might not be the colour I want. So if I want it dark I could add a darker green to it a bit. So I have got a couple of darker greens here. What have I done with that? Yeah, I've got this colour as well. So I'll have a look at that and try and think, is that the colour I want on my final artwork, you know, my composition and the colours I'm having together, or do I want to darken it a little bit? I think I will darken it a little bit. So now we've got 3 tube paints in here. Okay, and I'm not adding a lot to it really. I'm just darkening it a little bit, give it a bit more depth. I don't know how many of you guys have done lives, but it takes a long time, and I'm still not used to it, to get used to doing what you're doing on screen for everyone and looking back at the chat box as well, especially if you don't have a moderator. I might have to find myself somebody who likes moderating, so if they're ever around they can moderate the chat as well. So you're welcome, Grandma Kathy, I should say. I know you're a grandma as well. I think many people are actually in the chat, grandmas. I'm still not a grandma, I've got very young kids. Elizabeth, you're in Australia. Wow, gosh, what time is it there now? I'm terrible with trying to work out the time differences and the time zones. And you could tell me a million times, I'll still ask you next week. Hi, Alison. Hi, darling. Lovely to see you. Great that you could make it just for this little impromptu live of me just mixing some paints up. And we've got 7 a.m. in Florida. Okay. It's very wet here in the UK. Yeah, okay, yeah, it is down where you are as well then. Yeah, it's definitely where I am. It's been raining for 2 straight days. We were supposed to have some sort of storm, but it never came. There was a lot of kind of gusty winds and things outside trying to blow my chimney off, but that was it. 7 a.m. in Ohio. Good morning. Have you had your coffee yet, Kathy? So 5:30 you woke up. Ooh, that's early, isn't it? I hate early wake-ups. I'm a night owl. Time to get up and start your Friday. Mine was a good day. Hope yours is going to be the same. Oh yeah, your Friday's come to the weekend time. Woohoo! Are you doing much for the weekend? 4:15, Alison. Oh my days. You've got the same insomnia issue I have. I have it on and off. I wake up at random times. Yeah, it's nearly midday here, hence the lunch break for me. And we've got, who's that? Manu Art. Hola, hola. How are you? Great to see you. Thank you for joining. Here we've got Deco Art Extreme Sheen Metallic 24 karat gold. Okay. Oh, I love this colour and I've run out. I don't think there's hardly anything in here, to be honest. I really hope I have enough to like mix up another batch of paint for this cloud pour. Just trying to shake it, because the annoying thing about these ones are they just separate so badly. Get all the kind of fluid, transparent kind of fluid on top, and then you get the paint sediment at the bottom. So I really have to shake this up. So now I'm just going to try and spray the anti-opening, and I'm going to probably add it in here. And because these are obviously fluid, they're more thinner than the tube paint, so I might have to add more, or maybe even add some gloss gel to this to thicken it up to the same consistency. What I'm looking for is all of these paints to be the same consistency as each other. Oops, let's just steal this little mixing stick. Oh, this is just glorious, isn't it? Look at that. Oh my goodness, it's almost edible. I love the goals. I've got quite a lot of tube paint goals, all very different to each other. And I don't have to stick with it, you know, being just a 24 karat gold. I might add a tube paint into here to give it some thicker body, and then avoid having to add the oh, that is gorgeous though, isn't it? That gold is stunning. And obviously these, when they're dry, you can't really see the Floetrol, so it does darken up a little bit more than what you see here. The Floetrol's sort of translucent, so it does add a little bit of the white colour to it while it's still fluid, but it should look a little darker when it's dried on the canvas. So I've got this beautiful, glorious colour, and it's thinner than the others. So if you look at that and look at this one kind of sort of is a lot more ropier and thicker. So I'm going to add another gold. Now I've got quite a few choices here on my paint tree. I've got this beautiful paint stand that swivels, and it makes it much easier to find all the different golds, she says. Still looking for them. Let's have a look at these. So we've got a couple. We've got Liquitex Basics Gold ore. There's that one. We've got Iridescent Precious Gold. That's a darker gold. I quite like a slightly darker gold. That's quite nice. That's Pebeo. And we've got the Iridescent Gold. The Precious Gold I quite like. What would be your choice out of the three to add to the 24 karat gold? Any suggestions? I quite like the darker one myself, so I might just go with that. Yeah, I know there's a lag on the video as well, so when there's a lag I have to wait for a response, and I always forget. Ooh, what's exciting? I'm going to open my art gallery. Oh my gosh, that's amazing, Elizabeth. That's fantastic. I bet you're so excited. Definitely going to be a massive achievement when you do it. Is that going to be local to you? I'm guessing it is. So excited, not too sure who's more excited, my kitchen table or me. It's going to get a rest, and I'm going to have ever again in my home. Okay, I'm trying to understand, because my laptop's quite far away and I need my glasses really to read the messages. Yeah, darker gold with the 24 karat. I just noticed that I really love this 24 karat gold, but it's slightly light, isn't it? And this colour now, it really does look like a gold bar. Oh my days, that is just glorious. And it's thickened up a lot more. I think I've mixed that up properly. No lumps, I don't think. Perfect. So we've got some vibrant colours going on here. So what other colours should we use? I think we do need a turquoise with these two colours, and I'm really thinking about the palette now, like what kind of cloud pour or straight pour do I want. I'm going to add this turquoise green from Amsterdam. It's actually an opaque colour, so you can see I've got a mixture of opaques, semi-transparents and transparents here. And And it's a really nice thing to do when you're doing a straight cloud pour, to have like a combination of them. This is a transparent, the next one up, which is a primary cyan. This is a transparent because the box is empty, you see, and that's the phthalo blue. And we've got a couple of others which are semi. You can see the ones that we just used just so far, semi, and this one is the opaque, the one we're mixing up now. So it's always a nifty trick to try and have a combination of different transparencies for your pour to see what happens and how they react to each other, and how you can see some of the paints over the others and through the others. So that's a nice colour, very, very gorgeous. And it's quite hard really when you're doing videos, because you then have to remember, like if I was not filming this part of it where I'm mixing, which I usually don't film the mixing part, what tends to happen is by the time I edit my video up, after I've done a pour on video, I tend to forget what I used. You know, like if I've done a custom colour, I tend to forget what I mixed up. I'm adding a little bit of this as well, just made a mess here. I'm adding a little bit of this turquoise blue, and this part of it is just intuition. It's just going, okay, what colours would I really like together? And I am going for a rainbow sort of pour, rainbow coloured pour. So I probably need to put that aside to remind myself what to put in the video description later when I do the video, for what colours I use to make custom colours. I think that's one thing people don't realise, you know, people who haven't really tried to be a creator on YouTube, that it's just so much research, you know, and often more work goes into the background of creating, editing videos, a lot more than actually just pouring something out. I think I've got a hair in here. Oh my goodness. Is that a hair or an eyelash? I don't know. Oh, okay, let's... Oh goodness, okay, we'll get that out. We don't want that landing in the painting, do we? Imagine that, a cloud pour with a massive hair in it. Pop that over there, throw it out later. Let's just make sure there's no other hairs in there. Oh, there's a really big hair in here. Oh my god, how did that? It must have been in the bottom of the cup already. I can't even get it out. Right, okay. Little detour on a video just to fish this out. Oh, there it is. I kind of see it. This could get... Oh, there it is. I've got to try and grab this hair. There it is. That's the hair. Oh, my fingers. Yes. Yeah, and you know when you're on a time schedule as well, like you've got an hour to do something, you know, before your next meeting or something, and things don't go to plan, do they? Things never go to plan. I'm happy with this colour now. I think that's nice, the combination of those two tube paints. It's a nice consistency as well. So that's done. Let's crack on and do primary cyan next. I'm gonna check back on the chat now. No, I know I said it's 2 to 1, the ratio I'm doing, but it's not really. It's really more based on if I get the strength of colour I need and want in my mix. So as soon as I get the right strength and it looks similar to my tube paint, I usually stop adding my acrylic paints simply to save them. They do cost a bit, paints, as we all know, and if I don't feel it needs anymore and it's got the same colour as on the tube, I stop. And sometimes that's not really 2 to 1. I haven't added the one part fully of the paint to the Floetrol, so I'm sure you know what I mean. It's just about kind of economizing things. You love turquoise, do you? Manu art. That's really nice. I love turquoise. It's pretty, isn't it? It's gorgeous. It's a very calming colour. And that's the other thing that we sometimes forget, is that colours have a really big impact on humans. Like the whole kind of idea of colour theory and how certain colours make us feel. And when you've got a room that's painted red, it actually can have a, you know, physiological effect on us, in the sense that it can make your blood pressure go up. It can make you more anxious. It can do certain things to make you more fearful. So we have a really strong relationship with colour. Green is calming. It reminds us of nature. trees, grass, and natural habitat. It calms people down. So yeah, different colours make us feel different ways, and it's really nice, like if you're doing like an ocean pour, to remember actually the reason why those colours calm us, the colour of the sea, freedom, of happy times and fond memories and that sort of thing. So that colour I added was Phthalo Blue by Amsterdam as well. That was a transparent. And then we've got a Amsterdam Permanent Blue Violet. You probably can't see, but it's slightly purple, very dark violet. And we're going to add that next. Now, you might be asking, why have I chosen these colours? Well, although they're not exactly the same, they're certainly not similar brands or anything. I watched a video by my good friend Sheldon Briscoe, who does beautiful cloud pours. I have another amazing friend who does beautiful cloud pours, Garrick Brown Art Studio. His work is phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, do check it out. He's just a lovely person all round, as is Sheldon. And they both do great cloud pours, as well as Tiffany Bergeron. From Willie B Studios. So there are some amazing people out there. They all do amazing work. And this colour palette is actually inspired by Sheldon's recent work that he did on Facebook. And I did ask him if it's okay for me to do some similar colours, similar palette. He was very happy, said go right ahead. And that's what I'm doing. So I've got that colour in there. But do you know what? I might mix in this permanent red violet with this permanent blue violet and see what happens. Why not? It's lovely, this colour. I'm just checking it's all on screen there. Okay, so I put a dash of that in as well. Put that aside so I remember to mention it in my actual video. And I've just added that. So the great thing about custom colours is your painting is going to be completely unique with colours that maybe other people have not mixed together, with a slight tint of this and a slight hint of that and a slight tinge of this. So this colour's slightly more redder. You probably can't see it on your screen, but it's slightly, ever so slightly more red than it was out of that tube mixed with the Floetrol. Yeah, at least it's not a fly. I hate when hairs and flies and things get into the painting. I had one moth, actually. I left my painting to dry after a workshop here out in the garden in a summer house. And when I went back the next day, a moth hadn't just landed in it. It had landed in it and skidded along for about 3 centimetres, taking half the paint with it. And poor thing, it got caught there and died. In the middle of the painting, and for the life of me I could not scrape it out. It was totally embedded, and it kind of raked all the paint up behind it, like it had put its brakes on or something. It's quite sad when living things die, especially when it's kind of maybe it's your fault for not covering up your painting. But I tried to get one of those, excuse the terrible noises out of this tube, I tried to get those fly covers you get, like for food, the food coverings with the net. I tried to get some of those, but couldn't find any local. Probably find some on Amazon or something, but you get these massive white nets, don't you, that you put over your painting so nothing lands in it. I don't think it really stops the dust, though. But they're a good idea as well. There are lots of cool ideas out there for people looking to get gadgets and gizmos, things that help their painting journey and outcomes. So I've just mixed this up, and that colour there was iridescent orange yellow mixed with Amsterdam vermilion, very vibrant, and it's got this glisten to it now as if I'd added a pigment to it. I might actually add some pigments to these, so to bling these colours up I might go and grab some of my colour art pigments and pop them in. Oh, by the way, colour art is unfortunately closing down. It's stopping its trading, and you've got, I think, roughly a month or so to order as many products as you can. Now, they're still trading, and you can still buy products from them, everything from pouring mediums to pigments and purely pigments as well, and bling it pigments, and lots of different other products as well from microflakes and other things. So they have got a lot of product still in stock, and you can order them. So get in there if you're going to be thinking in a year's time, oh God, I wish I had that colour art pigment. Get it now before they shut down and you can't get hold of it anymore. That's my advice. So yeah, so there's that. So I think the final colour now will be the reds. And again, it's a very much of a rainbow palette. And the two reds I've come up with is dark cadmium red hue and primary magenta, both from Pebeo. One's opaque and one's transparent. Okay. There's one. And then we get the next one. What do you guys do when you mix your paints? Do you listen to music? Is it therapeutic or is it a chore, do you think? Do you feel like it's a chore? I think it depends on the day for me. Most of the time I enjoy doing it. I do find it therapeutic, and I usually listen to music. And at the minute, the reason I've got no music on is because this video will get flagged by YouTube as having copyrighted music if I have my radio back on. So I have a little radio here. Here it is, a very simple little thing. Didn't cost much. I usually play the radio, or I have tracks on there on the USB stick there that I like playing to, which are relaxing. Sometimes classical, sometimes blues, sometimes jazz. I love all kinds of music, and I love world music actually as well, because I understand quite a few languages. So because of that, I like listening to foreign international music as well. That was very quick. I'm quite surprised. It didn't really take long to mix all these, and I was talking all the way through it and umming and ahhing about it, so it would have taken less time. Oh, Sudha, hello. We've got Artist Resin here, my lovely friend. She's been the biggest supporter ever, and Kat as well has. So I'm really, really grateful for you guys, you know, and I probably would have quit a long time ago if it wasn't for all the people like kind of cheering me on and being there and supporting me and being so lovely, genuinely lovely people, down to earth and kind. Congratulations to that as well on your 1K. That's fantastic. So Terry, oh my God, Terry, it's great to see you. I'm so happy to see you. You stocked up on colour art products. Well done, love. I put in a big order as well about 2 weeks ago. Because I'm in the UK, it takes a while to get here, unfortunately. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to do the unboxing and see what's in there, and just be really happy about all the new products I'm going to have. It is exciting. It's like Christmas, isn't it, or Eid, or a festival where you're opening all your presents from your loved ones. It's fantastic, and this time you've given yourself the gift of new art supplies. So you can see I don't know if you can see, you can see my consistency. It's relatively thick, but not too thick. It does disappear after about 3 seconds, I'd say. So the trail, you know, if you're like a centimetre above the surface and you're trailing it off it does disappear pretty quickly. That one's slightly thicker, so I might spray a little bit of water in there. And for a cloud pour or a straight pour, they do need to be thicker. Okay, because you don't want to lose your you don't want to lose your creation or your composition when it's drying. You want it to stay as it is, basically. So thicker is better in that regard. So I will be pouring this and recording it later on after work today, and then I'll be editing up the video last minute and hopefully producing it for this Sunday. Okay, because as you know, I've gone solo. I'm no longer with the Fluid Art Express now, and they're up at 10 p.m. UK normally, as usual. They usually have guest artists as well, so I'm solo on my own, and I go on at 9 p.m. UK, which is 4 p.m. EST. And I don't know what that is in any other time zone, I'm afraid, but I'm sure you can work it out. But these are my colours today. I'm not going to be using these. We're not going to be using those. We'll pop those away. And And I'm just going to show you this lovely piece I did before, and I really, really love it. And you can see lots of little cells and big cells, and it's really quite pretty, isn't it? And that was like a demo one I did with in a small workshop with 3 other people. But it was really fun and pretty, and I love all the blending on it. That was a spun out bloom, I think it was a kind of a spun out bloom. So, oh wow, you used your 1000 store credit. That's amazing. Oh yes, at the beginning I did show you I am using Owatrol. I haven't added any water to this yet, but I think for 1 or 2 colours I might need to spray some water in. So all of this is mixed with only Owatrol, 2:1, roughly 2:1 ratio. Thank you, Alison, sweetheart. Thank you, Terry, lovely. Thanks, Grandma Kathy. Okay, what does that say? I use clothes area, cover it with I use a clothes area cover it with a mosquito net in the area that I have as a shelf in the middle, so that's where I put my. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, I might have to come up with some makeshift way of making sure my paintings don't get ruined by insects. Okay, so that's it, I think. I think that's it, unless there's anything else you wanted to talk about. I do have Texture Thursdays coming up every Thursday, so I'll be doing something live for the next week for Texture Thursday. That's at 4 p.m. EST on a Thursday. No, 12 p.m. noon, sorry. 12 p.m. noon EST on Thursdays is where I do Texture Thursdays with Oak by Bettina, the lovely Betty. And I'm probably going to be doing something live for that next week. But that's it for today, and I want to thank you all for being here and showing me so much love. And I want to say thank you for all of that. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. This was short but sweet, but at least you know how I mixed up my paints. And when you watch, hopefully on Sunday, I'll turn this into a painting. Fingers crossed. So see you again soon, and take care of yourselves, lovely people. Bye.